Hi, Lulia Nani. Today we're going to talk about fish. I'm gonna share my screen. Okay. Actually, your lesson is about egg-laying vertebrates, but we're specifically going to talk about fish. Let me make my face bigger. Okay. Many types of vertebrates lay eggs, and from these eggs, the babies, the offspring, is gonna hatch and continue their growth stage. Fish are one type of vertebrates that lay eggs. And here I put a picture of how do the fish bones look. For the vocabulary today, we have the word chemical. It's a simple material found in nature. In iron, oxygen, carbon dioxide, and tin are examples of chemicals. Fish. Fish are vertebrates that live in the water. Some live in salt water, like the oceans, and others live in fresh water, like ponds and streams and rivers. Some can live in both saltwater and freshwater. There are more kinds of fish than all the other kinds of land and water vertebrates put together. Scientists have named and classified about 22,000 kinds of fish. Fish use gills to breathe. Gills are like something that they have in their neck, like a type of flap that lifts and it filters water and they remove oxygen from the water and that way they breathe. Most fish are covered in scales, escamas, and then they move through the water using their tail and fins, like this here, their tail and their fins, and most lay eggs, though a few species develop eggs inside their body. They're cold-blooded, meaning that their temperature changes with the environment. Yeah, that would be it for characteristics of the fish. So today we're going to learn about the Pacific Ocean salmon life cycle, okay? They live most of their lives in the ocean, but when it is time to reproduce, they return to the fresh water. Oh, sorry girls, there's a mistake here, if you can fix it. Okay. They return to the freshwater streams where they were born because salmon usually starts their life at a pond, like small river, okay? And then when they grow older, they go to the ocean. But when it's time to reproduce, they have like this instinct to go back where they were born, which is really far away. So some of these salmon must swim nearly 2,000 miles to get there, and the journey might take several months, many months. They navigate in the ocean by sensing the magnetic field of the earth, the ocean currents, and the position of the sun. So they're really smart salmon to know where they're going. When they reach the coast, they remember the odor of their old home and follow the smell of certain chemicals in the water of their home stream. So they have really good smell and they find their way home. Salmon travel upstreams to their home. They swim against strong currents, against the direction of the water, and they jump up waterfalls as high as 10 feet. So, for you to get an idea, they jump up out of the water. Waterfalls son cataratas. They can jump up waterfalls, and jumping high as 10 feet is like something like 3 meters. And I have read somewhere else that even 5 meters. Okay. They don't eat during this stage, but they live off the fats that they have stored in their bodies. Okay, so when salmon finally reach their birthplace, the place where they were born, the males pair off with females. Then the female digs a hole with her fins on for the eggs in the pebbles of the stream bed and lay eggs there. And then the male salmon follows and sprays the egg with sperm cells. Okay, the female then covers the fertilized eggs in the hole with pebbles, little rocks, and then the salmon repeat this process for several holes until there are about 2,000 or 17,000 eggs, okay, that have been laid and sprayed with sperm. And then at the end of this journey, the bodies of the parent salmon are so tired and so worn out that they drift downstream and they die. So salmon, they don't make really good parents because they just abandon their eggs, like most fish. But they, after reproducing one time, they die. The salmon embryos, little babies here, remain covered and slowly develop in the fertilized eggs through the winter. By the spring, the embryos have grown into little salmon and they are ready to hatch. The baby salmon breaks through the egg covering, and then the egg yolks are still attached to their body to supply them with food. So they're still eating from that egg yolk. And the babies remain hidden in the gravel for several months. And then when they grow, they become like this, bigger, and then they can get their own food. Some leave immediately for the ocean, but others can remain up to 3 years in the fresh water where they were born, but eventually all leave for the ocean. It's like an instinct that they have. And then only a small percentage of salmon that leaves the fresh waters for the ocean will survive because many of them get eaten by birds, by fish, by bears, and also polluted waters can kill them. The ones that do reach the ocean are going to spend there between 6 months to 7 years until they become an adult. And then they have again that instinct that they have to go back to the freshwater place where they were born and reproduce again and then end their life cycles. Unlike the salmon, many other types of fish remain alive to reproduce several times, and they don't have to travel as far, but their life cycle is the same. What do I mean by this? That eggs are laid and fertilized. The parents go elsewhere because fish don't take care of their eggs. The eggs hatch into tiny fish. They grow into adults. The adult fish reproduces. The adult fish then dies. For the salmon, oh, okay, I'm going to erase this because this page, it's like, okay. So what I was saying is, unlike the salmon, many other types of fish remain alive to reproduce several times. They don't have to travel as far, like I said before, but their cycle, it's the same. The salmon gets old and dies after reproducing. Okay, so after it lays all of the eggs, gets old, dies. And here's a picture of that life cycle. Okay, so you have the parents, they reproduce, they do it here. They do it in a river, they lay some eggs, the eggs grow, and then you have the fish that goes back to the ocean, and then when it's old enough, it wants to return, and then after it spawns, it dies. That would be the explanation.